Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 9312 Southwest 153rd Ave here in Beaverton, located almost straight out from the front door. We just offset to it about a foot or two to the left, and then right out here in front of the concrete patio. Got a 3-inch ABS clean out. We're going to check the overall condition, serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is running. Flipped around the right way here. All right, off we go here. We're going to zero out. Hard dive. Dive, dive. Transitioning here to 4-inch 3034 PVC pipe. A little bit of grease buildup in the flow line, but nothing crazy. Mostly point that out so you can see what it looks like. It's one of those. About the only thing as a homeowner you can do to maintain flow in your line is keep the cooking oil and grease out of the pipe. It's a very good thing to keep up with. We're going to take a second look at that spot as we come back out there. There's some, looks like some movement has taken place at that joint. And there's the main lateral connection there. Now we're going to go locate really quick here. See where the line terminates. We're at the main here at about 40 feet out. Alright, just located the camera head. Line terminates on Southwest 153rd Avenue. And the pipe runs pretty darn straight right out to the road. Draw an imaginary line from the clean out to the main or the middle of the road. It's about the path the line takes. And we had a joint here in the PVC we're going to take a look at. Looked like it was showing some level of movement at it. Camera lens clean. So we'll rinse the camera lens off here in the main really quick. Anyway, it's the appearance that joint there there's a level of separation at it. And part of what I'm looking at here is some of the staining that's occurred there at that joint. As we come back here, you notice the top of the pipe, just about everywhere else is clean. When you get back to that joint in particular, you've got a different level of staining. I apologize, I'm having a hard time keeping the camera lens clean here. Alright, so I just took a locate just to see where this is at here. A lot of that stringy stuff, if not the entirety of it, is cobwebs at the top of the line. Obviously, the joint has separated to some extent. I don't have obvious groundwater dripping through the pipe joint right now. It's a very hard one to say. And the black coloration I might be seeing up top there, what's hard is a lot of grease has gone down the line. It's kind of gunked up the flow line area. The dark coloration at the top there could easily be a Fernco, the rubber gasket material that's just showing. I don't see any obvious signs of settling going on here. I'd be a little more concerned about it if we had an offset joint in this location, which generally indicates that the joint is allowing groundwater to seep through and or dirt, which can cause hydro erosion. Otherwise, as it sits, it's mostly a visual blemish from what I can see here. Being that it's under the road like this, very expensive thing to repair. Nothing about this is affecting flow and functionality, and I don't see any obvious signs here. The joint is opened up to the ground. We don't have groundwater seeping through. We've had a lot of rain recently. It's dry right now, but there's a lot of water still in the ground. Nothing's dripping through it, and flow is not being affected by it as it sits right now. Now, in my opinion, without any of those secondary signs or earthworms crawling around, anything that indicates that joint's open to the ground, yes, there is a level of separation there, but you've also got a coupler on the outside of the pipe that seals that joint up, and I don't see any evidence as it sits right now that seal has failed. So, in my opinion, not one that needs repairs. Would it be nice to have it look all perfect and spiffy? Sure, but as it sits, nothing about that joint is showing any evidence of being failed. And flow is not being affected by it. That's my 2 cents on that. If we had an offset joint there or something of that nature, or anything else that indicated it was open to the ground, I'd feel a little differently about it. But a lot of joints will do that, and those Fernco's do allow for some movement and some slippage without necessarily opening up. And then the little stringy things there in that joint appear to be cobwebs. Those do not appear to be roots that have come through the joint there. In fact, there's the little guy right there, your little spider friend that has made the webs. Spiders are very common, prevalent creatures in sewer lines. We're now going backwards toward the home. Everything from the clean-out access to the main lateral has good flow, a little bit of grease buildup. It's a very steep running sewer line. That grease has very little bearing on functionality on a line like this with that much fall. So not one I'm concerned about getting cleaned. Yeah, I mostly pointed out it's just a good habit to put in place not to put it down the line so it doesn't build up to a significant level. As it sits right now, has almost no bearing on functionality at all. Not unless you were flushing something down the line that was already essentially going to block the pipe. It might help that blockage stick a little more effectively. That's about it. Pipe's looking good going back to the foundation wall there as well. And everything past that point's in the crawl space. It's exposed. Home inspector looks at that stuff for leaks. Anyway, good flow all the way to the main lateral. The joint there at 29 feet, once again, in my opinion, not one that's in need of repair work. No signs it's open to the ground, and the joint is not obstructing flow at all. Looks like it slipped right after install, and typically that kind of stuff happens immediately after a line is buried. Within the first few days is when most settling or shifting issues occur. So the joint's likely been that way since inception. So without any signs of anything else going on there, it's a little blemish, but not doing anything to affect functionality. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time.